wanna know, I love the way that body's sitting up. Yeah, there's a reason she walk like this. She walk like this. Had to send a video, she don't edit her pics. She work for it, she on her shit. And when she walking by, yeah, I know the truth is, I wanna know how she get that sad like that. How she get that sad like that. I wanna know how she get that sad like that. That's like that, yeah, yeah. With them everyday squats, making shit pop. Never had them sad shots, but she takes shots. I wanna know how she get that sad like that. That's sad like that, yeah. When I see her, I know that she earned that shit, treating calories like we. Yeah, she burned that shit. Shout out to her.
Hello, hi, and welcome. So today's video is about avascular necrosis. Avascular necrosis is another disease. Anybody can get it, but it's more prone in people with sickle cell, i.e. me, and other sicklers. So, what is avascular necrosis? Generally, it is basically where your bone and your tissue dies and there's no blood going to it, and that's literally what avascular necrosis is. It is another form of arthritis. So you can get you can get avascular necrosis, AVN in short terms, in your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your elbows. Those are the places that you can get it. I unfortunately have it in both of my hips, and there are 4 stages. Right, that's my terminology of it, that's my understanding, but we'll go to Google and we'll ask Google. So, Google says avascular necrosis is a disease that results from the temporary or permanent loss of blood supply to the bone. When blood supply is cut off, the bone tissue dies and the bone collapses. So, there are a few things that can cause avascular necrosis, sickle cell being one of them, but also obesity, lupus, kidney transplants, steroid therapy, drug use, trauma, dislocated joints, and even scuba diving. However, the exact cause of osteonecrosis in many individuals may never be known for sure. So again, basically what's happened with my hips, because that's all I can talk about is my experience with it. You've got your ball joint and you've got your socket that goes onto it. You've got your cartilage in between your socket and your ball joint. So when I was in my teens, late teens, I used to have my sickle cell crisis a lot in my back area, around here, this area here. And because of that, that's what's caused my hip bones to die. So basically, there's been no blood supply either to my socket or to my ball at that point, so it starved of oxygen, and because it happened so many times, it slowly started dying, so which has resulted in like no ball joint. Because the end of my ball joint died, it's just grinding away. There's nothing there now. There's no blood going to it. There's nothing to keep it healthy. So it's just grinding, which causes obviously a lot of pain when you're walking, going up and down the stairs, just normal day-to-day things. I'm going to show you a picture of what necrosis looks like, because my hand doesn't really show it, but kinda, but you know, I'll put up a picture here to show you what it's like, what it looks like. There's 4 stages to AVN. Stage 1 is where you have normal x-rays, but when you have an MRI scan, that's when it shows that the bone is dead. Stage 2 can be seen on a regular x-ray, but there is no collapse of the femur ball. Stage 3 shows signs of collapse, called a crescent sign on the x-ray. Stage 4 has a collapse on the x-ray and signs of cartilage damage, osteoporosis, right? So I was diagnosed with AVN when I was 23. I'm now 33, and when I was diagnosed, there was signs. I had an MRI scan. No, I had an x-ray first, and they could see that, you know, both my hips were damaged. Then they sent me for an MRI scan, and then they seen that my right one was significantly damaged. Like, I was at stage 4 on my right, and stage, I think it was 2 on my left. I think so, yeah. So what they can do, depending on your stages, is if you're earlier on, you can have an operation where they drill a hole into your ball joint so that the blood can release and flow up to it, which can slow the deterioration down. But I was past that on this leg, on this hip, so it was just strictly, you need a hip replacement, that's it. At the age of 23, I was like, what? It was crazy. Living with AVN is so hard, especially because I was diagnosed when I was young as well, so it really messed with me mentally. I was told that I needed a hip replacement. I was in a lot of pain. I say a lot of pain, but at 23, I don't think I was in that much pain compared to what I was in during the end stages. It turned out, I'm a dance teacher, as you know, and as the time went on, I wasn't able to dance. I struggled walking up and down the stairs. I struggled walking. I couldn't go for walks. It hurt to walk around my house. It hurt to get up off a low seat. I couldn't go in anyone's car that was low, not an SUV or a 4x4. What else? It was literal mental torture, and I think what made it worse for me was from I was 23, I got told, yes, you need a hip replacement, but you're too young, so we'll just see how you get on. Let's see how you are in about 3 years. So at first I was like, 3 years, that's a long time, but okay, alright, cool. Okay, we'll go with that. And that's because once you have it, it only lasts so many years. It lasts 15 to 20 years, and then you have to have another operation. So it's like, I know that they try to long it out so they don't have to give you another operation, but 23, 33, no, 32 at this point. So anyway, 3 years went by, so now I'm 26. Then I get told, oh, let's wait till I'm 30. Now as the years are going by, I'm having to stop doing certain things. I'm having to, like, my legs, couldn't go walking with them around the block. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't do certain things because it hurt. I had to sit down for a period of time, and then I can't sit down for too long because it hurt, so I had to stand up. But then I couldn't walk, I just had to stand. Like, it's crazy. So anyway, yeah, then I got to, then he said, oh, let's wait till 30. So then I got to 30, and then it was, oh, let's just see how you go. When I heard that, I was just like, are you for real? So December 2019, I went to see my sickle cell consultant, and at this point I had a walking stick. I walked in, and she seen that I was limping really bad, and she was like, so what's going on with your hip? What's he saying? What's your consultant saying? Because they had regular talks, because again, this disease, a lot of sicklers have it. So my bone consultant and my my hematology consultant work alongside each other with a lot of us. So then she said, what's the situation? And I said, listen, he just keeps saying, like, let's see how you go, but I don't know how much further I can go. I was diagnosed at 23, like, I need some form of release, and at this point I was taking painkillers all day, every day. The pain was waking me up while I was sleeping. I couldn't get comfortable at night because it hurt. I was on over a gram of morphine a day, as well as painkillers in between that. So she was concerned, I was concerned, and I was just like, something has to be done. I need, it's messing with my mental health. as well as my back. My back is completely gone because my body has been compensating for that side, so I tend to do everything on my left side now. So yeah, I'm in loads of pain. So she's like, alright, cool. So what we're going to do is I'm going to rush you to have an appointment with him, and then let's get this ball rolling for you to have your hip surgery. So I was like, okay, cool. I've got an appointment through to see my bone consultant. I call him a bone consultant, but he is, what do you call them? Orthopedic consultant. That's what he is. But anyway, my bone consultant. So I had an appointment to see him in December 2019. So when I've got there, he sent me to have an x-ray first, and then I went to see him. I've actually got some clips of that. Here's some clips from that journey. But yeah, so I seen him and he was just like, right, let's get it going. Let's get you having your operation the beginning of next year. And then we can... He checked my legs and stuff, and my right leg had got significantly shorter. My right leg was 2 inches shorter than my other leg, and that was because my ball joint was grinding away. I was told that my ball joint was a flat mushroom. It wasn't a ball anymore. It had grinded away so much. That was another reason why I was limping and I was lopsided. That's something that they can rectify in the operation. So that was kind of like, oh, okay, let's get the ball rolling there. Then January came, and then all the letters started coming through to have like my pre-op. I had my pre-op, and my bubs come with me to my pre-op. I had my hip and knee class. My bubs come with me to that. I had loads of appointments, and I was just like, yeah, right, this is actually happening, like mentally preparing myself. And then we're in March. No, I got my date. It was April the 12th. My date was. We got to March 2020. And we all know what happened, don't we? COVID came along and said, no boo, you ain't having no operation. Operation got cancelled. So I was literally beside myself. And then I was so angry because I've waited so long, like, and I've said, as soon as I have this hip, it's just going to be a new beginning, just like new everything. I'm going to be able to do things with my kids that I haven't been able to do for years. Like, I feel like I've been cheated because I haven't been able to do things that a normal 28-year-old, 29, 30, 31-year-old able to do anymore, because of this hip. And the only thing that can help it is this operation. Summer 2020, I was okay, just tried to just live my life as much as I could, being in lockdown. September 2020, I got told that they were starting to do the hip and knee operations again, and they're putting me on the list. I think they'll put me on like priority number 3, something like that, they said, which really pissed me off. You've got me waiting here 9 years and you want to put me on priority list number 3. Are you okay? Like, that was just a phone call. Then October 2020 come, and I'm telling you, I had a minor crash on my car. I wasn't hurt anyway, but from that, any bump, you can have a xoxo crisis, like I said in my other video. So from that, I had a xoxo crisis in my hip, as well as the hip pain and my back and stuff. And I was literally laid up in bed for about 8 months. October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Yeah, about 7 months, sorry. Yeah, about 7 months. I was just in bed. Couldn't really move. I got scared to go down the stairs because I was just thinking, I'll go down the stairs, I'm going to be in pain. And then I go back up the stairs, I'm going to be in pain. So I just stayed in bed. Because it was just like, let me just stay in bed, stay in one place. I ate in my bed. I did everything in my bed other than, you know, wash my skin. I went to the bathroom for that. But everything I did was in my bed. Now, don't get me wrong, obviously I did go downstairs on some days. the majority of the time I was in my bed, and when I was gonna venture out, do the stairs or whatever, I'd make sure that I'd pack up on painkillers so that the pain wouldn't be so bad. Yeah, then I had an appointment on November the 20th, and that was him just saying, look, I had to have another x-ray because your x-rays only last 6 months. So the last time I had an x-ray was the year before, 2019. So I had to have an x-ray, and then he was like, yeah, it's deteriorated a lot. Bearing in mind, let's not forget, I ain't done nothing. So then he was like, oh, we're looking at January for your hip replacement. Okay, cool. January come, back into lockdown, got cancelled. I didn't have a date, and on these times I didn't have a date. They just told me months of what they were hoping for. January obviously didn't come because we went into lockdown. I finally had it done. Tuesday, May the 25th, 2021. 10 years later. And it was, the whole journey has been an absolute struggle. And just to think that I've got to have my left one done again as well. I just hope that they don't make it play out and long it out like they did with my right. When I got towards the end, first it felt like, you know when you run and your ankle gives way a little bit and you buckle just slightly, right? So that feeling, it felt like in my hip, right, when I was walking or moving or doing whatever. And again, I wasn't doing nothing crazy because I couldn't. And then it started to dislocate, and it would always dislocate in my groin. Like, it'd come out in my groin and I'd have to like push it back in, kind of thing. It felt like it was catching on the end of my socket, like, so it was like that. That's how it felt. So then I'd have to like wiggle kind of and put it back in and then stay there for a little bit. Sometimes it happened in the middle of the night when I was sleeping. Sometimes I couldn't get to sleep. Like, it was just, it's not nice. It isn't nice. I had to stop dancing. It literally just stopped me being mobile completely. It is a very hard thing to deal with, as well as sickle cell on top of that. Yeah, it was not nice. It is not nice at all, and I don't wish it on anybody. But what I will say is, if you are a sickler and you're experiencing any pain in your knees, in your hips, in your shoulders, in your elbows, that is consistent pain that you know is not sickle pain, tell your consultant, get it checked out. Touch wood, there's no wood, that it's not AVN, but it's a possibility that it could be, and it's better to be known and treated rather than going down the road and being ill. And I pray to God that nobody goes through what I went through and having to wait 10 years to get a result, to get it fixed. But yeah, that's it. So if you got any questions, leave them down below. Don't be afraid to ask. I'll see you in my next one. Are you ready? Okay.
Just looking in your eyes, you know I'm looking for more.
Leave it out, love. Just leave it out. Bye. I love you. You know when your eggs don't say I love you back? It does my head in. He knows I hate that. He knows I do. He knows. I love you. No, I love you. Okay. Bye. Bye. Sorry? Are you okay? Pirates number 3. And I've been waiting 9 years at that point. I hope they can't hear the fan, you know.